Hi, welcome back once again. In the last video we talked about the post method. In this video we'll talk about the get method. We have already covered a lot of things about the get method, but in this we'll take it to the next level, okay? So before we move ahead into this project, let me give this comment so it becomes very easy for all of you when you will get this code and for navigating, okay? When you're scanning your code, you will know, okay, this portion of the code stand for get method, okay? For that why I'm making this all comment. So let's make it, give this comment and say get method method, and let me give this space get method, and this one is stand for post method method. And now we'll work on get single single post method method. I hope I've wrote the right spelling, okay? So let's come here, same convention we have to do, call the app dot same http request method get, because this time we want information, but this time the information we want on the base of id, okay? On the base of id, that's you have to keep in mind. So all you can do is simply come up here and simply grab this url, but we're going to add one more parameter into this. So let's come here, paste this. So let's come to the data json file and let me explain you, then we'll add the id here. So every single product have this unique id. So we have to write a function which can find the id of each of these products. So if a request coming for a product this the forest hiker id 14, so we have to display only this information. So let's do that, and this is how we can set the parameter in the url. So earlier we are doing in the post and get as it is, but this is going to be for the single post. So we'll give the slash comma and here we'll add id, okay? So this is how we set the id in our url, and we're going to find out this id, and on the base of that we're going to find the information, find the product details into our database, and we're going to display to our client, okay? So let's come here, same thing I have to do, request response, and here we're going to send the actual informations. So now when someone will hit this route and provide the id, I have to take that id and try to match it with the data I have in my server, this internal server we have created, okay? So what I will do right now, so let me do something, let me console log out this, okay? Then I will explain. Console.log and request.params.id, okay? So nothing is happening, okay? Simply come here into our postman and let's copy this entire thing and let's create another field, and this one is going to be again get method. Let's save it, and this time we'll call single product, single product product. So here we are in the get, and let's assign a id. So let's make it, I want to find the product number 2, and if I make a request right this moment, nothing will happen. Let's cut down and let's come back here, and as you can see here I'm getting that id 2, as you can see. Let me show you once more time. If I make a request to 12, send a request, and let's cut this one and let's come back to the editor, and here I'm getting this 12. But you notice one thing, that the 12 it's not a number. This 12 is not a number, it's a string. So I have to convert this into a number, and then I'm going to match with the id, okay? So to convert that from string to number, I can simply do in this way, give this and just multiply by this number, and it will automatically convert this request which is coming into a number. Let's come here, paste it here, cancel, come back once again, and right now you can see the color is changed, the color is different, it's yellow now. So that means it's a number, okay? So I'm going to use this id and try to match with the data I have. So how I can do it, simply I'll take another variable, I'll say const id, and I have that data in this id variable, no, not this one, this one, id variable. I'll come here, const get product, I'll take another variables, and I have the data in my product data, okay, this product data I have here. I'll call that, I'll say product data dot find, find. So find method needs a callback, so I'll call it lm. You can give whatever name you want, and I will use this arrow function, and I want to match the id with my data id. Okay, so I'll say take that lm dot id. So take the product, all the product, and try to match the product id with the id which is coming from the request. So here what I'm doing, so let me explain one more time what is happening here. So here I have the data, all the data which I have into this in my server, or you can call it my data JSON file. I'm running a loop, this find method, and what this find method does, it need a callback function, and with that callback function, what I'm doing here, you can give whatever name you want, and I'm checking every single product and their id. So inside that I have an id, so I'm targeting this only. You can target name, you can target duration, it's totally up to you, but I'm going with an id because I want to match the id to display the appropriate results as per the request. Okay, so I have the data here the user wanted. Now what I can do, I can use it and send it back to the client. So I'll say res dot, again I have to send the status and 200 for okay. In that I can call JSON, I will send an object, I'll send the status, assign the status going to be success, 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 and I'll send the data is going to be get products. So if I hit this, I'll get the informations. Okay, let's come here. If I hit 12, I'll get the data here. As you can see, the id is 12, and I can easily able to read the information of this id. If I change this to 1, I'll get id number 1, and only one result is displaying, but here it's displaying all the results, all the 17 results. I can change it to 5, and it's working fine. So right now I can easily able to find that particular product on the base of the id, but there is one more problem. So what if I type, let's come here, if I type more than, so if I type something 53, and altogether we have 17 product here, but here in the URL I'm typing 53. So we have to check for that. If someone provide the wrong id, so we have to send some information. So right now if I don't do anything, if someone hit that, still we get this success response, but we are not able to send the information, but we are sending this success response. So instead of sending this success response, we have to send an error message, and we have to tell them that okay, you have provided the wrong id. Okay, so let's check for that as well. So let's come here, and that check we're going to do right up here. So I'll say if, so now we have to write a condition, and that condition will check whether the id is provided by the user exists into our database or in our product JSON file or not. If it exists, then we will send the response. If doesn't exist, then we want to send a message which says that you have provided the wrong information. So let's write that function. So I'll say if get product is not there, so this exclamation mark which make it something is true, make it false. If something's false, make it true. Okay, it's totally opposite. And in this I will send a condition. So what I want to send, res dot status, again status I want to send, and this time I will send the status goes to 404, and I will send JSON, send object, and success status is going to be fail, and I'll send a message, message, and it's going to be a template return, and I will say you have provided wrong wrong id, and here I will pass that id. So now it would be working, and this function will not get executed, and we'll get a proper error message. So let's come here, let's check one more time, and if I say I can get this id number 5, but if I provide something wrong which is not there, if I make this request, here I will get the information, success status failed, and you can see status code is 404, and here I can display the ID which is 53, which is not exist into our database. So this is how we can set a condition, and that's the same error you can able to see right in your console. Here you can able to see that where that error happened. So it's happened in line number this, so which is not that important. Okay, so this is how you can check for an ID whether the IDs exist or not, and then you can send the response. If someone give the right ID, they can easily able to get the response. So this is how you can get a single post and create a condition on the base of the ID which you get from the client. So in the next video we'll talk about the post and delete method, and that video is going to be very short because we have to do a little bit thing in that. So let's move to that.